This is a video to review the workbook page 356 on changing decimals to fractions. So number one, and we're just going to work through the problems. You had 0.6 repeating. The only number there is the 0.6. It is repeating. So remember, you're going to take the 6, put that over 9. This is reducible. We can divide out a 3 into both of those. And so that would give me the fraction 2/3. Number two, 0.63 with a line over both numbers. Since the line is over both numbers, this is not a special repeating decimal where you do the extra work. This repeating decimal, instead of putting it over 100 because of the 3 being in the hundredths place, we're going to put 63 over 99. And then you want to make sure you reduce your fraction. This one can be reduced by dividing the top and bottom by 3 or by 9. I'm actually going to divide mine by 9. So we're going to divide the top and bottom by 9. 63 divided by 9 would be 7. 99 divided by 9 would be 11. So that is your decimal, 0.63 repeating converted to the fraction 7 over 11. Number 3, 0.4 with a line over the 4. The 4 is in the tenths place, but since it is a repeating decimal, we're going to put 4 over 9, and that is in lowest terms, so you do not have to reduce any further. Number 4, 0.83 with repeating of the 3. Now, with this repeating decimal, there's only one number repeating. The 8 is not repeating, so we're going to have to do a little extra work here. We're going to first move our decimal behind the whole number all the way to the end of the number. Remember, the 3 is repeating, so this would be 83.3. I moved the decimal 2 places or 2 times, so that would be times 100. Then we're going to come and move the decimal. We're going to move the decimal directly in front of the repeating number. We had to move that decimal 1 place, so that would be 8.3, and since I moved it 1 place, it would be times 10. Now you're able to subtract. 100 minus 10 would be 90. The 0.3s will cancel out. Then we're going to borrow, make this a 7. 13 minus 8 would be 5. Bring down your 7. Now you're going to take your numbers and make those into a fraction of 75 over 90. Those are not in simplest form, so we're going to divide by 5. Since they end in 5 and 0, we know they are divisible by 5. 90 divided by 5 will be 18, and that's a common one you see a lot. And then 75 divided by 5 is 15. This is still not in simplest form, so we need to divide again by 3. And so 15 divided by 3 would be 5. 18 divided by 3 is 6, so our final answer is 5/6. Number 5, 0.13, repeating. Again, only the 3 is repeating, so we're going to have to take those extra steps. First, move that decimal to the end of the number, so that'll be 13.3 times, and since I moved it twice, it's going to be times 100. Then we're going to come back and we're going to move it just directly in front of that repeating number. So that's 1.3 times, I moved it 1 place, so that would be 10. You're ready to subtract. 100 minus 10 is 90. These are going to cancel, and 13 minus 1 would be 12. You're now going to take your numbers and put them into a fraction. 12 over 90 is not in simplest form because they are both even. So you can start by dividing out a 3 or even a 2. But I went with 3, so 12 divided by 3 would give me 4. 90 divided by 3 is 30. This is still not in simplest form, so we're going to need to divide out a 2 from the top and the bottom. 4 divided by 2 would give me 2. 30 divided by 2 is 15. Now you're in simplest form. Number 6, 0.27 repeating. Only the 7 is repeating, so we're going to have to take our steps. Change this by moving the decimal to the end of the number. So this would be 27.7. Again, the 7 is repeating. We move the decimal 2 places, so that would be times 100. You then want to take and move the decimal directly in front of the repeating number. So that would make this 2.7 times, I moved it 1 place, so that's just 10. Now we can subtract. 100 minus 10 is 90. The 0.7s on the end are going to cancel. 7 minus 2 is 5, and bring down your 2. So now we have 25 and 90. We're going to write those as a fraction. And we need to reduce, so we're going to divide by 5 since they end in 5 and 0. 25 divided by 5 is 5. 90 divided by 5 is 18. And that's in simplest form, so you are finished. Number 7. 0.61 with the 1 repeating. Again, move that decimal to the end of the number. So that would be 61.1 times 100, since we moved it 2 places. Then come back and move that decimal directly in front of that repeating number. So that would be 6.1. We moved it 1 place, so that'd be times 10. And then you can subtract. 100 minus 10 is 90. These cancel. Borrow here. 11 minus 6 is 5. Bring down your 5. So now you have the fraction of 55 over 90. And that can be reduced by dividing the top and bottom by 5. 55 divided by 5 is going to give me 11, and 90 divided by 5 will be 18. So your fraction answer is 11 over 18. Number 8, 0.06 with a 6 repeating. We're going to start by moving your decimal 2 places so that you have the decimal to the end of the number. So that would be 6.6 times, since you moved it twice, that would be 100. Then you want to come back and move your decimal right in front of the repeating digit. So that would be 0.6 times, and you only moved it 1 place, so that would be 10. Then you're ready to subtract. 100 minus 10 would be 90. These are going to cancel, so that leaves you with 6. So now you have the fraction 6 over 90 that you can reduce. So we're going to divide our numerator and denominator by 3, and that's going to give me 2 over 30. That's still, both numbers are even, so I can divide out a 2 into the top and bottom. And so that will take my answer to be down to 1 over 15, which is in simplest form. Number 9 was 0.94 with only the 4 repeating. So again, you've got to move that decimal 2 places to the end of the number. Remember that 4 is a repeating number. So that would be 94.4. We move the decimal twice, so that is times 100. Go back and move the decimal directly in front of the repeating number. So that would be moving it 1 place, so that makes it 9.4 times 10. And you're ready to subtract. 100 minus 10 is going to give me 90. These 4s are going to cancel. I would borrow. 14 minus 9 is 5, and bring your 8 down. So this ends up giving me 85 over 90, which, since they end in 5 and 0, I know they are divisible by 5. 85 divided by 5 is 17, and 90 divided by 5 is 18, and that is in simplest form. Number 10, 0.36. The line is over the 3 and the 6, so the 36 is repeating. So in these cases, remember the 6 is in the hundredths place, so instead of having it 36 over 100, since it's repeating, we're going to put 36 over 99, and then we're ready to reduce. We can reduce by dividing the top and bottom by 9, and that's going to give me 4 over 11, which is in simplest form. Number 11 was 0.7 repeating. Again, the 7 is actually in the tenths place, but since it is a repeating decimal, we would put 7 over 9. and that is in lowest terms. Number 12, 0.54. The line is over the 5 and the 4, so both of those digits are repeating. So then you look at the last place value, which the 4 is in the hundredths place. Since it's repeating though, we're going to take 1 off of that. So we're going to put 54 over 99. Then you're going to take and reduce your fraction. So we're going to divide 9 out of the numerator and the denominator. And so when I do that, 54 divided by 9 is 6. 99 divided by 9 is 11. So that is your answer in simplest form. Number 13, 0.416 with the 6 repeating. Only one of the digits are repeating, so this is a specialty fraction that you have to work on. We have to move that decimal to the end of the number. We're going to move it past this 6. Remember that 6 is repeating. So this is going to be 416.6 times. I moved this decimal 3 places, so that would be 1,000. For each digit that I move the decimal, I need a 0. Then you're going to come back and you're going to move that decimal so that it's directly in front of the number that is repeating. So that would be 41.6. I moved that decimal 2 times, so that would be times 100. Now you're ready to subtract. 1,000 minus 100 would be 900. These 6's are going to cancel. 6 minus 1 is 5. I'm going to borrow. 11 minus 4 is going to be 7. And then I'm going to bring down that 3. Now you have the fraction of 375 over 900. We know that's not in simplest form because it ends in 5 and 0. So we know it's at least divisible by 5. So if I divide 5 out of the numerator and the denominator, and I've had some students in class that have been struggling with just the dividing part. Again, if you're dividing, you're just taking 375 and dividing it by 5. 5 does not go into 3, but 5 will go into 37. 7 times 5 is 35. Subtract. 7 minus 5 is 2. Bring down your 5. 5 will go into 25 5 times, so 5 times 5 is 25. So if you're struggling with that, that's just a reminder. So we ended up with 75 here. Earlier, several times we have done 90 divided by 5, which was 18. Now we're doing 900 divided by 5, which is 180. We're just adding a 0. Divide this again by 5 because it ends in 5 and 0. 75 divided by 5 is 15. 180 divided by 5 is 36. This is still not in simplest form. We can divide a 3 out of the numerator and the denominator. So 15 divided by 3 is 5. 36 divided by 3 is 12. That is now your final answer. 14. 0.86 repeating. Only the 6 is repeating. So we're going to go through our steps, move the decimal to the end of the number. That would make this be 86.6 times 100, since I moved the decimal 2 places. Then I'm going to come back and move the decimal directly in front of the repeating digit. So that would be 8.6 times 10, since I only moved it 1 place. Now I can subtract. 100 minus 10 is 90. These 6's will cancel, so we're going to borrow here. 16 minus 8 would be 8, and then bring your 7 down. So we have 78 over 90. They end in even numbers, so we know they're at least divisible by 2. So we're going to divide a 2 out of those. When we do that, 78 divided by 2 is 39. 90 divided by 2 is 45. Sometimes students do not realize that this can still be reduced. If you add the digits that you have, if they are divisible by 3 or 9, then that whole number is divisible by either 3 or 9. So, for instance, 3 plus 9 here would be 12. 3 will divide evenly into 12, so we know this top number is divisible by 3. 4 plus 5 is 9. 3 will go evenly into 9, so we know the denominator is also divisible by 3, so be careful. 39 divided by 3 is 13. 45 divided by 3 is 15, so that is your final answer. Number 15. 0.083, the 3 is the only number repeating, so we have to move our decimal to the end of the number. Remember, the 3 is repeating. So this would be 83.3 times, I moved it 3 places, so that would be 1,000. Then you want to come back and move the decimal directly in front of the repeating number. So that would be 8.3. I moved it 2 places, so that would be times 100. And now we can subtract. 1,000 minus 100 is 900. The 3's cancel here. We are going to borrow. 13 minus 8 is 5. And then we're going to bring down our 7. So we have 75 over 900. We know since they end in 5, they are divisible by 5, so we're going to divide 5 out of the numerator and the denominator. 75 divided by 5 is 15. 900 divided by 5 is 180. Again, they are still ending in 5 and 0, so we know they are divisible by 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 180 divided by 5 is 36. These numbers still need to be reduced. They are divisible by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 36 divided by 3 is 12. So your final answer would have been 1/12. Number 16, 0.27 with the line over the 27. So 27 is repeating. So since the 7 is in the hundredths place, and it's a repeating number, we're actually going to take 1 away from that 100, and that's going to give me 99. And we're going to put 27 in the numerator. The other thing you can think about is, since it is all repeating, you had 2 digits that were repeating, the 2 and the 7, so you need 2 9s in your denominator. I do need to simplify here, so I'm going to divide my numerator and denominator by 9, and then my reduced answer would be 3 over 11. Number 17. 0.1 repeating. 1 is in the tenths place, but since it's repeating, we're going to put that over 9, put the 1 in the numerator, and there's your answer. Finally, 18. 0.90 repeating. The 9 and the 0 are repeating, so that would be 90 over 99. Again, 2 digits are being repeated, 2 9s in the denominator. We're going to need to reduce, so we're going to divide our numerator and denominator by 9, and then that would give me 90 divided by 9 is 10. 99 divided by 9 is 11, so my final answer would be 10 over 11.